12, 13, 14. That's 14 cans of green beans. You think we need some more of those, Joe?
Yeah, probably. Make a note of that, Billy, would you?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, Izzy, could you pass me that can right there? I need to check if it's expired.
Well, I could, but you see, there's a very important problem with that, Billy.
What? What is it? Are you hurt?
I don't work here, and I'm not giving that old coot any free labor.
Call me old again, see if I give you a discount next time you need it.
It's fine. I can get it. Thanks anyway, Izzy.
No problem, pal. Glad to be of assistance.
Why are you even here, girl? Aren't you leaving town soon? Don't you need a pack and all that?
I'm thinking about it. I don't have too much left to do here, so I suppose I'll head out soon.
But you'll keep in touch, right?
If I remember to write. I'm kidding. Yes, I will write.
Why do you have to leave anyways? Why can't you stay? I'm sure Joe will give you a job.
Like she'd take it, the freeloader.
Love you too, Joe. Well, I only came into this town to look into a few personal matters. And, well, everything's taken care of, so I don't have much of a reason left to stay.
Well, anytime you do need somewhere to stay, I'm sure Joe will always have a place for you. Right, Joe?
There you go again, making promises in my name without asking. I think Cole might need me up front. Billy, can you handle this inventory for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Izzy, can I trust you to watch?
Like a hawk.
I am sure you will.
All right. I gotta check the bullets, coil the rope, recount the cans, and then sort it all into a pile so it's easier to manage.
All right, now that the old coot is gone, I guess I can help out a little. The quicker you get this done, the quicker we can get out of this dump. I'll recount and sort the cans. You take care of the rest.
Oh, really, Izzy? Thanks. You're the best.
Yeah, I am. Now come on, let's get this done quick.
All right, I've got McPherson locked up.
Is that? Oh, I swear, if we have to lock him up again, I am not liable for what I'm going to do. This is the 4th time we've had to.
Evening, Sheriff.
Evening, Mr. Townsend. What brings you down here?
Just business.
Morse, why don't you take another look at the cells and make sure they're real safe?
I'll go make sure everyone's real safe, sir.
Now, what business do you have for me?
It's...
You doing all right? Can I get you something?
No, it was just a tickle in my throat. Anyways, it was a concern of mine that one of the members of our fine community might get himself lost tonight. And I'm just worried for his well-being, you see.
I completely understand. And am I to look out for this individual?
Not anymore, Sheriff. I merely wanted to bring this matter to your attention.
I see. You know, it's a shame to hear about this fella. My eyes ain't what they used to be, and I don't have the manpower to do a whole big search. But my condolences go out to him.
I'm sure they do, Sheriff. Anyways, I do have other plans to attend to tonight, so I hope you and Deputy Morse have an uneventful night.
And I hope your concerns are unwarranted.
Anything important?
Nothing that can't wait till tomorrow.
Anything we need to watch out for?
No, if you hear anything about a missing person, we ain't got the town. Lots of pressing business here.
Huh? Hello? What's going on?
Welcome to the land of the living, young man. You've been out for a few hours now.
What's going on? Where am I?
Some very important questions, yes. But if you just give me your ear, I can answer some things that are much more important to you.
What do you mean? Why am I tied up like this?
What I mean is...
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Anyways, let me answer your question, son, with a question of my own. Do you know your father?
Oh, well, no, I never really knew my parents. Never met my dad, and I hadn't seen my mom in forever. Except for Joe, but she doesn't really count.
Would that be the owner of the general store over yonder? She's a good lady. Fair prices, always willing to barter. I hate her.
What? How could you hate Jo? She is the nicest woman I've ever met.
I hate how honest she is. There's a system in this town, and she doesn't play by those rules, and that's just annoying.
Why is that so bad? I thought being nice was the right thing to do.
We'll have to get that train of thought out of you soon, son. No! That's how the weak and poor live. If you want to live your life in poverty and misery, then by all means you'll live honestly.
Oh, well, okay. Let me go and I'll do just that.
No, you idiot! You're made of a different cut than those riffraff. You're a...
What? Are you sure you're okay?
Shut it. You're a Townsend, son. You come from a long line of banking investors who've run this town from the shadows for generations.
Oh. Wait, I thought the mayor ran the town. Or was it the sheriff?
No, son. Who do you think paid for their campaigns? Think.
Oh.
There's only one thing that rules this town.
Well, what is it?
Money.
Money? Well, how can money run anything? And what does any of this have to do with me?
We'll have to get that train of thought out of you soon, son. Now, you sit here and think about what I've told you, and don't bother trying to run away. Sheriff will bring you right back.
Where's Billy? Someone needs to sweep up front.
I ain't seen him yet, but the broom's in the corner. You handle it.
Morning. Oh, where's Billy? I didn't see him up front.
His bed by the back door was slept in, but we haven't seen hide nor hair. You ain't seen him? I figured he went out to see you before you went.
No, I came straight here. I figured he'd be upset if I left without saying goodbye.
I knew you cared, at least a little. Still, it worries me that he ain't here. He ain't usually late for, well, anything.
We don't know where he is. I'll give him peace of my mind when he gets back, though, leaving all of this work for me.
Well, did he have any family here? Someone he could visit?
Nope, kid's an orphan. I found him outside begging for a job around 8 years ago. He's lived here ever since.
No family. And I assume none of you sent him out for anything. That's odd. We ought to go look for him. At least ask around town if someone's heard from him.
Well, he can't have gone far. He lives here. He probably saw an old lady counting grain and helped her stop to help her count every individual seed. Bleeding heart.
Well, at least he's got a work ethic, unlike some people.
Well, I say we go look around town for him.
Why should we? If he's late, that's his own fault. We don't all have to go looking for him.
You know what? That is a good point, Cole. Izzy and I will go out looking while you handle the shop. Come on, girl. Let's go find the kid.
That's not what I meant, Joe. Joe, I swear if you leave me, darn it, she's left. I hope they find that kid soon. I don't want to count cans again.
Howdy, Joe. You want the usual?
Nah, I got something more important.
Alright, well, when you want something, let me know. The only customer I have right now is McPherson. Hey, McPherson. You awake?
Living the life right there.
Who might you be? Friend of old Joe here?
I wouldn't say friend, but I hang around her store all the time, mostly to talk with Billy.
On that subject, we came to ask you about him, Dr. Anderson. Has Billy been by chance?
I don't think so. Has he been injured again? What did you do this time?
I'm sorry, again? Does he get injured often?
Oh yeah, that kid could not go a week without hurting himself for a time. Remember that time he got that cold and flu at the same time?
He was always getting into trouble. You haven't seen him? Doesn't he work every day?
Well, no, he doesn't work on Sundays because the store's not open. But if the store's open, Billy's there. Except for today.
So we were wondering if he'd been by recently. You ain't seen him? Have you heard anything about him?
Can't say that I have. I've been open since early this morning, and besides McPherson there's been nobody.
Hold up. You haven't had anyone else in here? I figured you would have at least had a few early morning workers.
Ain't nobody gonna be out today. Sheriff told him not to. Ain't safe.
Oh, you're awake. Welcome to the land of the productive.
Hold on. What are you saying, McPherson?
Well, gather up, kiddos, 'cause I heard something that'll knock your boots off. Apparently, Townsend knows something about a missing person. But the sheriff said he ain't gonna do nothing about it.
Hold up. You said Townsend? The Townsend?
Mm-hmm. Heard him with my own ears. I was in the cell 'cause the sheriff keeps bringing me in for being a public nuisance. And he told me what that means.
That might be Billy. How could the sheriff just ignore that? Thank the Lord that Townsend's trying to keep an eye out.
Maybe you can ask Townsend about it, since he knows and all.
We are not talking to Townsend. No way, no how.
What's gotten into you, girl? According to McPherson here, Townsend might know something about Billy.
See, I'm also a productive member of societies.
Absolutely not. We are not talking to him. Maybe we can go ask around town some more. There has to be someone who's seen Billy.
All right, girl. Fine. Sorry I asked.
Have you tried Gwendolyn? She knows everything about everyone, and if anyone's heard about Billy being around town, she'll know about it.
Yeah, and she'll know what his last outfit was, if he talked to anyone or anything. Heck, she'd even know what his last dream was. Gwen knows everything about everyone.
I suppose. Dr. Anderson, do you happen to know where Gwendolyn is?
I think maybe McPherson? You know where Gwen is?
Well, it's probably where she's always at. She'd be at the telegrafters, probably listening in on everybody's conversations, telling everybody else everything she's hearing.
We ought to find her. Come on, Joe.
Oh, hold on, girl.
They find him. He's such a nice boy.
So that's the boy that bought me the drink the one time?
Mm-hmm.
They better find that boy. Only got enough coin for a few more drinks.
How many drinks do you have today anyways? I lost count after 5. That would make it 7. I'll get the smelling salts in a bit.
Uh, 102, 103, 104, 107 or 8. Rats, I lost count. Guess I gotta start over. 1 rock, 2 rocks, 3 rocks, 4
Would
rocks.
you shut up? Why do you have to count every rock?
Well, I usually count things when I'm at the shop, and, well, I wish I was at the shop, so I was counting like I was at the shop, except there ain't any cans.
Would you shut your mouth? I'm sorry, son. That was unbecoming of me.
It's okay, Mr. Townsend.
Thank you. Now, have you decided to listen to me?
No, sir, I don't think I'll ever want to run the whole town. I figure I'll stick to what I know. Maybe Joe will let me run the shop one day.
You can. You can run the shop, and the bank, and the telegrapher's office. You can focus on your little shop, but you'll be able to do whatever you want.
But what if all I want to do is run this shop? Why can't I just do that?
Because you were born to be better than that, son. Why can't you...
Are you sure you're okay?
No, son, I'm not all right. I suppose it's best I tell you now. A year ago, I found out I've got a horrid disease of the lungs, and the doctor told me I wouldn't live another year. That's why I found you, son. I'm just trying to pass on my legacy. That's why I found you.
I understand, Mr. Townsend. I get that you think I'm made for something more, but I like my life the way it is. Why do I need anything different?
Son, I don't think you understand the world quite yet. I remember a phrase my father telling me.
Well, what was it?
There's no such thing as a free lunch. He told me that when I was 6. He made me pay rent.
That's awful.
It taught me how to live for myself, son. If I didn't pay rent, I had to live outside until I could. You know what? Next week I paid it until the day I took over the business from my father.
Well, what did you do once you took over?
I told him the same thing. He didn't pay the rent next week. I never saw him again. Look, son, the sooner you learn that, the sooner you can learn to live comfortably, even at the expense of others.
I would never.
I wish you wouldn't say that. I really wish you wouldn't. I'll teach you then.
No, well, I can't say I'll listen too well.
Well, I guess you won't need any light.
Rats.
And apparently that means Miss Jeannie can't let her daughter come back into town, which has all the other ladies talking, because that just ain't right. And you know what I said?
Miss Gwen, I appreciate the talk. I really do, but it's been 40 minutes and Sheriff's going to be mad enough as is for me leaving the office. I've got to head out.
Oh, Morse, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to keep you up so long. You know how I get. I just get talking and talking and talking, and I just lose track of time. You know how scatterbrained I am. Don't you, Morse?
Yes, ma'am, I do, but like I said, I really got to...
really, Morse, you got to tell me when I'm talking too much, because I just can't be quiet. You
All
know
right,
what?
well,
That
you
reminds
have a
me.
great day, Miss Gwen.
You know, that reminds me, when I was a little girl, my daddy told me, Gwendolyn, sometimes you need to be quiet and listen. So I started listening, but then I hear so much, I just got to tell somebody what I've heard. Whew.
Miss Gwen, how are you doing?
Oh, well, if it isn't Miss Izzy, and who's with her but old Joe. Joe, I haven't seen you in a while now.
Gwendolyn, we talked 2 days ago. You told me about something or other with the doctor.
Well, it feels like a while ago to me, and I was telling you that Dr. Anderson was running out of gauze, so she had to use some fabric from one of her evening dresses to close the wound, and that is such a shame.
Yes, it is, Miss Gwen, but we have a question for you if you have the time.
Well, I do have the time, actually. It's odd. There's nobody here. I haven't seen one person since I got here early this morning. If you get here early enough, they don't even notice you're here.
Right, sorry. Nobody? Nobody's come to send something or get anything?
Not a single soul. I mean, there's a few here for people, but no one's come to pick them up yet. But hold on, Miss Gwen, how do you know they're for someone else? Were you looking through other people's mail again? Psh, I won't say another word of it, but I will say that apparently Mr. Harris's daughter is expecting him. I'm so excited for him.
Gwendolyn, we've got an important question for you. Have you seen or heard anything about Bailey recently? Say this morning?
It's really important, Miss Gwen. Let's see. What have I heard today?
Just this morning, Gwendolyn. We don't need to hear about every single thing you've heard today. We wouldn't be done until tomorrow.
Well, I say, Joe. Well, I believe I heard something a while ago. I mean, well, then spit it out, Miss Gwen. We ain't got all day. All right, Missy, I'll get to it. Anyways, as I was walking here early this morning, I had to stop to talk to Jeannie's chickens because, you know, they get rowdy if I don't talk to them. Those ladies, they're just so needy.
You were talking about Billy?
I was getting there. Anyways, as I was talking to the chickens, I heard a sound from away from me. It sounded like a thumping sound. So I stopped talking so I could listen. And I heard somebody say to themselves, I hope this boy's worth it. Oh, did it really say that? That's what I heard. After that, the thumping continued, then it went away. I think it was heading towards the affluent side of town. You know, like the apothecary and the bank.
Oh, Lord. Someone's taken Billy. How could they? Who would do that? You said it was on the rich side, right?
Yes, I remember it vividly, because Jeannie's pen faces the east, so I can look at the chickens comfortably in the morning, and the affluent side of town is to the nether. south. Yeah.
You gotta be mistaken, Miss Gwen, because that wouldn't make any sense, right? What are you hiding, girl? What are you talking about? I mean, you keep panicking when we start talking about Townsend or anything relating to him. What do you know? If it has anything to do with Billy's disappearance, I swear. It's got nothing to do with Billy. It's my business, and I don't have to tell nobody. It became my business when it involved my son. If you knew where Billy was, you'd tell me. Right, girl?
I swear, I have no idea where Billy is at the moment. It's just, Townsend is bad news. We should not mess with him.
I know he's up to some shady business, but he did apparently tell the sheriff he was missing. That has to count for something.
Sounds like you should talk to the sheriff then. Maybe he knows something. I was actually talking to Morse a bit ago. You know Deputy Morse. Well, he was actually saying the sheriff don't want him gone from the station too much.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm. And I find that so odd, because the deputy ought to be patrolling to keep us safe, right? How's he supposed to keep us safe if he ain't around to help us?
I think we ought to pay a visit to the sheriff, Joe. Especially now that we know Billy is gone for real.
You're right. All right, let's go.
Bye now. Oh my goodness! Jeannie will not believe this. I gotta tell her right now. Well, I can wait a few minutes more. Don't want to miss anybody coming by.
After I explicitly told you not to go out today, what got the idea into your head that you should talk to Gwendolyn?
I wasn't...
Exactly. You weren't thinking. Because if you'd been thinking, you would have listened to your superior.
I'm sure no one saw me besides Gwendolyn.
The single most talkative woman in town? Well, thank the Lord you only saw Gwendolyn.
Sheriff, we've got a missing person to report. If you'd let us in.
Nobody saw you, huh?
It's not my...
Shut it. Let me handle this. Come in, Joe.
Howdy, Sheriff. Thank you for hearing us out.
It's no problem. Can I get you water or anything? Morse, why don't you go
No,
get
it's
this?
all right. We don't need anything. We were just wondering if you've heard anything about Billy.
No, ain't he usually working around this time?
Well, that's the problem, Sheriff. He wasn't in his bed this morning. We've asked around and nobody else has seen him, so we were hoping you've heard something.
I'm sorry, Joe. I haven't heard a thing. Did it cross your mind that he maybe needed a day to clear his head?
Billy's head is always clear. Does the same thing every day. Talks to the people in town, works in the shop, and that's it.
You're leaving something out there, ain't you? You can go on and say it. This is a safe space.
I was just gonna say that he spends his time with me.
Well, Morse, I think we found ourselves a suspect.
What?
How could you?
You came to me asking me for my advice, and here I've given it. Morse, I'd say I've done my duty. I can't solve every problem in this town, can I?
Yeah, yes, sir. I sure would say you have done your job. Ain't nobody who could say you ain't.
Thank you, Morse. Now, unless you have any other questions, I'll politely ask you to get out of my office.
Sheriff, I don't know why you're being so unhelpful, but we talked to McPherson today.
What's that old drunkard got to do with anything?
Well, he was here last night.
He was. When did he get in?
I told you before McPherson got...
Shut up!
What was that, Deputy? Were you about to say Townsend?
You didn't hear a thing. You absolute wobbling jaw! I don't even know why I keep you around.
Sheriff, if you know something and you haven't done anything about it...
You'll do nothing. What are you gonna do, report me to the sheriff?
We'll tell the mayor.
And where is he gonna take it? Right back to me.
This ain't right, Sheriff. Morse, can't you do anything?
I can't. He said
He ain't got the courage to. He probably wouldn't know what to do with himself if I ever left town. He'd be like a lost puppy.
I can't believe this, Sheriff.
You don't have to believe it, Joe. You just have to accept it. It's the way that this town is run, and until the people in charge change, that is how it's going to be.
Come on, Joe. We're not gonna find any help here.
I don't like this, Sheriff.
It's like I was telling Joe, son. You don't have to like it. You just have to accept it.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Sleep all night and work all day.
Way up, son.
Joe, is that you?
I'm afraid not, son. You remember when we last talked?
I don't remember. Is it about the rent?
Yes, Billy, that's right. I told you to think about it while you were left here. Have you considered it?
I don't think too well. Izzy says I got rocks for brains. You can't have rocks for brains, Izzy. Brains ain't rocks.
You're not doing too good now, are you, son?
This is almost as bad as the time I got both the sicknesses.
Just like your father.
I don't like it.
Son, all you have to do is take over the family business and learn from me. That's not too hard if you ask me.
No thanks, Mr. Townsend. I got all I want.
How could you say that? You live in a general store and are forced to pay to live there. You could have anything you want.
I want to work. Gives me something to do. Joe says I got more energy than the whole of the Pony Express combined. I'm not a horse, Joe.
Is that really all you want, son? Is to work until you die? What would your life be? What would your legacy be, son?
Be life with my friends. I like them, they like me. I hope. I ain't seen them in a while.
What good are your friends if they can't do nothing for you?
What good am I if I ain't got nobody to help? Ain't good at all. I know you're coming for me, everybody. I'm just waiting. You'll come for me.
Why don't we take this to the mayor? Doesn't he have a job? Why should I be forced to work almost every day and he doesn't have to do anything?
The sheriff made a good point, Cole. Anything like that would go right back to the sheriff. Nothing would get done.
Well, doesn't that sound like a peachy job? I get to make the rules and enforce them. Where can I sign up?
Shut up, Cole. This ain't funny. None of it is.
Well, at least I'm coming up with ideas. Both of you just about given up.
What would you suggest, Cole? Because I don't know where to go from here. Billy probably would have found himself by now. That kid had more energy than me.
Than the entire Pony Express combined. I've heard you say that about him a dozen times, Joe. Also, what's with all of this past tense stuff? How can I be the one with the morale around here? Izzy, speak up!
What do you want me to say, Cole? That we can find him? You can't find him. I reckon no one in this town could.
That ain't what Billy would say.
And what would he say, Cole? How would you know? You barely even like the kid. Haven't since he first got here years ago.
So what? Are you just gonna give up on him like his mama did?
I would never! She couldn't. Don't you dare compare us.
What's he talking about, Joe?
I'm just talking about
I'll tell it. She ought to know anyways. She's probably the only friend he had his age. It was 8 years ago. I was sitting in front of the shop taking a break when this kid runs up.
Like you need a break. I do
Anyways, I was sitting there when this kid runs up. He's smiling ear to ear. Before I can even say hello, he asked if he could count my cans.
Really? He asked that?
He did. I asked him why. He said he likes keeping things in groups. Says it makes it easier to think. I told him not to touch anything, just count, and I let him go at it.
Well, what about his parents?
Well, about 30 minutes later, a woman walks up. Asks if I've seen her son. I said yes, that I had him counting cans in the back. She was so tired, I could see it. Hair frazzled, bags under her eyes, and a panicked look about her.
Well, what did she do?
Nothing. She asked if I could keep the kid. I was shocked. I asked her why. She said, I don't got the money to keep him. I don't got the energy either. But he'd be happier here.
She just gave up her kid?
Yeah. I asked about his father. She said he died in a mining accident years ago and that the kid never knew him. Now, I couldn't believe it, but I said I'd keep him and take care of him, so I did.
You're a kind person, Joe.
Nah, I just did what was right. It ain't that hard to do what's right. It just takes a bit of sacrifice.
Exactly. And the right thing to do would be to get the kid back.
What would you have us do, Cole? I'm an old woman. I can't go running around aimlessly.
And what about her? She's young. If she could go running around with Billy, surely she could go running around for Billy.
I can't, Cole. Just can't.
Well, just because the girl can't doesn't mean you can't. Besides, you don't have to do it alone, do you?
You ain't wrong. You'd be willing to help, Cole?
Whatever it takes to get the kid back. I cannot take another full day shift without the walking ball of energy.
I suppose, but the two of us can't do it by ourselves.
Afternoon, everyone. I've come to ask if you've heard anything.
I'm afraid not. We don't have any more of an idea than before.
That's a shame. I'd hate to hear that anything happened to that boy. I've been watching him since he was young.
Dr. Anderson, would you be willing to help us?
With what? I don't need another job if that's what you're...
We're going to go looking for Billy. We figure if we all ask around, we're sure to find something.
Of course I could help. There hasn't been anyone around the shop today anyways besides McPherson, and he knows not to make a mess in there, if he's even awake.
All right, Dr. Anderson, thank you so much.
It'd be my pleasure, Joe. Say, have you asked Gwendolyn yet if she could help? She adores Billy, and I'm sure she'd be willing to ask around.
You're right. We ought to go ask her.
What are you doing? I thought you said you would go help.
I was waiting for you.
I can't.
Can't or won't. Trust me, I know the difference.
Can't. I cannot help. I just can't. Why are you helping anyhow? I thought you hated Billy.
Lauren, no. I don't think anyone could possibly hate that kid. He has a way of just...
He has a way of just getting to you.
Yeah, well, that's my reason anyways. I suppose you'll watch the store.
No, I don't think I'll stay here. I think I'll go somewhere else.
Whatever. Well, if you decide to help out, you know where to find us.
Where do you get your motivation?
Well, I just figure Billy would do the same for any of us. Besides, what kind of person would it make me if I couldn't do the same for him?
Who's that? What's going on? Oh, it's a girl. You find that boy yet?
Well, no, but the others are out looking.
So why ain't you? You lost? I understand myself. I get lost in this here establishment a lot.
No, I didn't get lost. I can't help.
Well, why not?
Because I know where he's at. And I know who's got him, and I can't keep lying to their faces about it. So I thought it'd be easier if I just left.
Well, darn. That ain't good. If it helps.
You know I'm 16, right?
What's that got to do with anything?
Have you ever not been drunk?
Not that I can remember. I do my best to be when I'm awake.
I wish I could live like that. Living with no memories.
Well, I think I heard someone say that innocence is bliss. Or was it incompetence?
You mean ignorance?
I don't know. I was drunk when they said it.
I suppose suppose ignorance could be bliss here. But if I was ignorant to things, I wouldn't be able to help or save myself.
Well, if you say so. All I know is I got all I need.
Really? All you need is a drink?
And money to buy drinks.
How's that working out for you?
Well, I don't have to worry about much, so I say it's working pretty good.
But what does that do for you? What do you do if you don't have any money, or drinks, or anything left? Where does that leave you? I mean, I've got all I need, so shouldn't I be happy? I've gotten out of the one thing I've been trying to avoid my whole life. So I should be happy, shouldn't I?
I think I would say so.
Then why ain't I happy? I could just leave. I could. Ain't nothing holding me back. And it's not like my father would ever be able to find me. It's not like Billy would ever do what the man would. He's got too much of a bleeding heart.
Is there anything I can do to help? I can't say I like seeing a young girl cry like this.
Unless you can tell me why I can't leave, then I don't think so. Or if you could save Billy. It's just, I've lived my whole life with this thing hanging over me. Like looking up at a clock every day and knowing that there's a man out there who's looking for you. And that he has enough of everything to find you.
Uh-huh.
And I found him. And then I realized he doesn't even know that I'm the one he needs. I'm safe.
Who's this man, then?
What? Isn't it obvious? My name is Isabella Townsend. My father, Jedediah Townsend, is the man looking for me.
Well, darn, I'd say that's a man to be afraid of. I don't blame you.
Right? And I've gotten away from him from now. And I could leave, start a new life. He'd never find me.
But?
But what about Billy? Or Joe, or I can't believe I'm saying this, Cole? How could I just leave them? How could I just abandon everyone and leave for my own personal gain? And what kind of person would that make me? That would make me just like Townsend. How could I do that? How could I be so much like that man? Was it fate, or was I always meant to be like this?
Well, if it helps, I don't think you're like Townsend all that much.
What? What are you talking about? I was just about to leave. I can't even bring myself to go out and save the closest friend I've ever had.
I didn't say you were being opposite to him, but from what I know about Townsend, if he were in your position, he'd already run to the hills. You're still thinking about him.
Really? I suppose that's something. And I could be better than my father ever was. Even if it comes at my own cost. No, especially if it comes at my own cost.
Well, there you go. Go on then, find your boy or whatever it is.
I really do, but what if he has hired gun? I can't just go and fight my way in there.
There you are! Am I too late?
Too late for what?
It ain't happy hour for another 3 hours.
How do you... No, it ain't time for that at all. Have y'all gone out looking for Billy yet?
Well, the others did, but I was just about to. I already know where he's at.
Well, thank the Lord I wasn't too late. I had to give Sheriff a good enough reason to get out of there so I could come help.
You want to help?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I don't really agree with the Sheriff's way of doing things. Don't tell him I said that. But, well, I always thought a sheriff and his deputies were supposed to be helping people. And sheriff don't seem to help too many people nowadays.
Well, at least someone noticed.
Well, anyways, I figured I could come help y'all and at least tell you where to go. But, I mean, if you already know where Bailey is, then...
Would you be willing to go with me?
I don't know. What if Sheriff finds out?
What if he does? Or doesn't? What if you end up the hero? Plus, I don't need you to do much unless he's got hired muscle. And you'd only be doing your job. You'd be making the town a safer place, wouldn't you?
I guess.
Alright, then it's settled. Let's go save my best friend.
Godspeed, girl. Godspeed.
Come on, son. I don't have too much time left. Can't you just lend an ear to a dying man? Can't you just listen to me?
No offense, sir, but if I listen to you, I'd have to leave my friends and also my dream behind. So, I don't think I can. Sorry, sir.
How can you say that? I'm just trying to leave my legacy in the hands of my own kin. Why would you throw away all that for a few people? You could even buy them back if that's all you need. Heck, you could pay anyone to be your friend.
Well, that ain't much of a friend, is it?
What's the difference, son? Please, let me give you what you deserve.
I've said it once, I'll say it 100 more times. No, thank you, sir. Wait, have I said it 100 times? I said it once just now. I said it again when I first came in.
Thanks,
And
Morris. Get back while you can.
Izzy!
Billy!
See, Mr. Townsend, I told you she'd be here. I told you. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell? I told you, didn't I?
Are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Well, you're the girl he would shut up about.
I suppose you're Jedediah Townsend then.
Yep, this is her, Mr. Townsend. Mr. Townsend, meet Izzy.
Well, now how much do I have to...
I won't take a penny if it's coming from you.
Well, Izzy, there's no need to be upset now. Mr. Townsend here was just trying to explain something to me, and...
I know why he took you, Billy.
Well, now do you? Aren't you a well-informed wanderer? Please, tell me why I've taken this here, boy.
Oh, I know, because you've been trying to tell me this all the past few days. So, Mr. Townsend says that I'm his son, and he ain't gonna live too much longer, so he wants me to take over his business and live as he does. But if I do that, then I can't work at the shop anymore. So I said no. Oh, and also, me and you couldn't be friends anymore, and, well, that was the real deal breaker. That was all of it, right? Okay.
So, you think he's your son, huh?
Well, he's the only person around these parts that fits the bill. He's the only kid with no parents. It ain't that hard to figure it out.
Well, you missed one then, Jedediah.
Or are you some kind of third cousin? Your parents should have told you I ain't gonna give you nothing.
No. My name is Isabella Townsend.
Wait, your name is Isabella? Does that make us siblings? Oh, man, I always wanted a sister.
How did I lose that woman? I kept track. I know. I know.
Left Helena in town, right? That's my mom, by the way. She's still alive, you know. She told me all about you. She ran away when you left for town about 10 years ago.
How did I lose that one? How did I miss that?
Wait, your mom's name is Helena? So, are me and you siblings? Because I don't think my mom's name was Helena.
No, Billy. You were never a Townsend. He got the wrong kid.
Oh, okay, thanks. Hey, Mr. Townsend, you got the wrong one.
I know, son, I know. Well, girl, I suppose I should make my plea to you then.
I don't care what you have to say. I'm getting Billy out of here.
Well, you should care, girl, because I'm dying.
You're dying?
Yes. So what I've been trying to tell this buffoon here. I should have known he wasn't my son when he didn't take up the offer. Well, girl, if we take this next week, we should be able to get everything done. Don't tell me you're actually going to listen to this here, son. Look at him. He's an idiot. Seriously, you can't just...
Hey, don't call him an idiot. And I don't care what you have to say. I'll never be like you.
Seriously. Why are all you kids so darn selfless. What's it in the water or something? Please, girl, just think for a minute. I know you can if you're related to me at all. Just think about what you'll leave behind.
Who says I'm leaving anything behind?
What do you...
That's what I'm talking about. You don't have too much time left, Jedediah. You better hush now. And save your lungs. As I was saying, you don't have too much time left. And you said it yourself, you're looking for someone to take over your empire, right?
That's what he kept telling me.
Yes, you're trying to, what's the word? Indoctrinate your child into taking over for you, right?
Indoctrinate.
Well, here's the thing. I'm your next of kin. Billy here can cooperate.
I can
So
collaborate,
can Deputy
yeah.
Morse and McPherson.
That's-
So when you pass,
That's it? Your persons of evidence is a deputy who's never risen above his station and a drunkard?
well, I could always send a telegraph to my mom. She's still alive, you know. I wonder who would hear if I had her send over my official birth certificate.
Oh, I bet Miss Gwendolyn would hear. She's always at the telegraphers.
I suppose that would spread the word.
And when you pass, where does all your money go?
I can't believe this, I can't. You've just ruined the perfect life's work. Are you proud of yourselves?
I didn't ruin anything. You ruined it yourself with your own actions.
Oh, yeah, I'm sore. Who knew being tied up for days on end would make you feel so bad? I never would have guessed. Oh, my legs are tingly.
Oh,
All right. We need to get you out of here and back home.
are you proud of yourselves? You've just ruined the perfect life's work.
I didn't ruin anything. You did it all yourself.
What do you mean? I'll be remembered as the man who ran this town, the man who kept things right.
The man that no one liked, the man who no one cared about, and the man who's gonna die alone. Come on, Billy.
You know how many rocks are in here?
Nope, and
You
I
wanna
don't really
guess?
care. Let's go.
Did you hear about Jedediah? I heard he got a disease in the lungs. Horrid. Whew. Can't believe it.
Alright, I suggest a heavier diet for the next few days to make up for a loss of weight, and definitely that you drink more water. But as far as I can tell, you shouldn't have any long-term consequences.
Sure
Also-
thing, Doc.
Also, I'm taking you off the staff for a few days to rest up. Cole can take care of things until you're better.
Are you sure he needs to rest? Can't he at least, I don't know, count the storeroom inventory?
Come on, please, Joe. Can I, please, come on.
Oh, come on, Joe. You know he's gonna do it anyways. I'll watch.
Whatever. It's not like I can stop you. It's like I don't even own the place.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Well, Billy, I'm glad you're okay. I'm sorry I didn't help sooner, but...
Well, you got there eventually, so thanks.
Right. Well, anyways, I better be going. I'm sure Sheriff will heard by now, so... We'll see what happens. Maybe now that Townsend's passing on, maybe Sheriff will take his job seriously again.
I bet he will.
And if he doesn't, you just let me know, alright?
Alright, well, now that the kid is fine, I suppose someone has to watch the shop. If any of you develop a burning desire to work, come help me out.
What is the bar closing? Alright, see y'all tomorrow.
Wait,
that's not the door. I don't know how McPherson lives like that.
I wouldn't call that living, Joe.
You know, Izzy, I meant it when I said I knew you'd come for me.
I mean, yeah, you did, but how did you know? I mean, I didn't even know until I was about to leave, so.
Well, I know you care for me, and I know you're a good person, deep down.
Well, I'm glad I could live up to your expectations of me.
Ain't that hard. All you gotta do is be yourself.
All right, Dr. Anderson. We better hit the road. Billy needs his rest. Come on, kids.
Hey, Izzy, I'll see you tomorrow, right? You're not leaving town anymore?
Nah, I think I'll stick around. I got some pretty good friends around here.